Good evening. Welcome to another stream with me and my virtual machine and my Wordle. It's been a long week, so I will apologize up front if I am even more slow than normal. I'll try my best. I will, honest. I always do. God, I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. But again, face for radio, hey? Right. So what are we doing again? Wordle. That's what we're doing. Right, so I want to put that screen there. And so where have we got to? Thank you very much, Igor. Happy coding indeed. Although it's no code. This is a no code platform. I think if anyone has seen this so far, you will realize that is a load of rubbish. Low code I can go with, not no code. Okay, so where have we got to? We built really a functional Wordle app at this point. I have played it a couple times. I recorded myself playing it as a little shorts video, and the word was dildo, which was funny. Hello, Mo Fish. That's a good hand. That's a good hand picture. I love it. Yeah, so built Wordle, done it as close to citizen dev as I can think to do it. To be honest, it's, having been someone that's been actually a professional developer, a software developer in this world for a little over 10 years now. It has been a bit of a struggle trying to build it in a way that is as low code as possible. But I've got there, I think. I think I've made it pretty good. And every time I've been typing things and doing things, I've been thinking, I know there's better ways of doing this. We will address some of that. For now, we're going to finish this app. And like I said, the app is playable, but it's not finished. It's not properly tidy, and the keyboard's not the way it should be. So without much further waffling from me, let's switch over to the app. Okay, so we have our play screen. I'll do something with this in a moment to make it tidier, but for now, I'm going to hold down Alt, press play, and bring us to the familiar gaming screen. Now, keyboard is our focus. We need to get rid of this horrible S. We need to make all these keys a proper color, and they need to actually alter depending on the keys that we have used. Now, for the purposes of testing this, I think it may be useful to throw another label on here to see what the current word to guess actually is. So you will have seen this already in the past. This is how I do a lot of testing. So carrot, I don't know how people want to say that, but that is what I would class that little flashy line. That's the carrot? I have no idea. Someone else can tell me what it's supposed to be. All right, so that's the word. So what we need to do is we need to make these keys change. So again, let's jump over to the world of Wordle and let's see what it looks like in here, because this is what we're essentially building. Now, let's go with co. Not my usual opening word, but you'll see why. Interesting. I really wanted to check that. Okay, so my Wordle clone is not fully functional, let's say. What I mean by that is it isn't exactly the same, which is probably a good thing because, again, I don't want to get sued. Because I know the word. I know the word today. And I know that it has an O in it. And the fact that there's another O in my word that is not highlighted means that this is actually only highlighting the word once, the letter once if it's in the final word. The same thing for the C. I know that there's a C in the word, but it is not highlighting this C. It's only highlighting that one. So that's interesting. There is actually some other logic going on here that I don't have, because in my world, if the word was that, which is what the word is, then both of these C's are going to be highlighted. One's going to be green, one's going to be horrible yellow, and both of the O's are going to be highlighted, and they're both going to be this, I should say mustard. It's a mustard color. And to be honest, I'm not certain that's... Is it possible? It probably is possible with some actual algorithmic logic when you do the adding of the word. That's quite tricky to think through, so I'm not going to bother with it. I will save that for the future when I actually build a Wordle rip-off entirely in code. That's a very different game to play. But for now, let's win the game. Woo, yes! Also, those animations, I'm not going to be doing the animations. For anyone out there that wants me to do the animations, not going to happen. I do believe in a Canvas app, it would be possible to do that kind of animation. I really do think it would be possible. I really don't want to have to try and do it. That is not my focus. My focus is very much on the techniques that you might want to use to take an app like this where you've pointed and clicked and dragged things on. How you might take your learning to the next level of, well, how would I break this down to make it a better implementation from a systematic perspective or a programmer's perspective. And we're going to look at some efficiency later on. I want to see what the performance actually is in an app like this versus the second version that we'll build, where in theory, the second version should be more efficient. I don't know if it will be. It will be interesting to see. And yes, MoFish, we do need animations, but not in a business application app, which is what I'm building. So no animations. I'll leave you to do that. In fact, you go off and prove that and, and tell me how it's done. But for now, let's just focus on the colors that we can do. All right, so we need things to be highlighting. Now, I've been thinking about this quite a lot because I don't want to have to try and do all the thinking on the stream, even though I can't help it most of the time. Let's go and stick in some letters. First guess. Hurry! All right, so as you can see, the R's are both highlighted. So that obviously is not as it is in the actual game, which is quite interesting. Yeah, anyway, I'm not doing that now. So what I want to do is I want to capture those words, those letters that I've typed in, to then remove them from the board when they have been typed, but they are not in the word that I'm guessing. So in this case, H, U, and Y should absolutely be grayed out. Oh, and I've already played the game, so I don't have the keyboard again. All right, we're just going to play with the colors, to be honest. I vaguely remember it's something like silver to begin with, and then it goes very dark when it's no longer a valid one. It's green, the same green as that, and the same mustard as that. So we'll work on that basis. Okay, so on that basis, what are we going to do? We're going to start with... So we will start with one of the ones that we have already done. Well, we're going to have to redo. Okay, I'll roll it back. I told you I'm tired this week. It's been a long working week. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to capture... my thinking here is that I need to capture the letters that I've typed as a means to validate or to check if those letters don't exist in the word. Okay, is that the simplest? Yes. No, I have to do that. Right. Okay. So first thing I want to do, I'm gonna, like I've said before, start with the basics. So I just want to collect the letters. Now I don't want to collect the letters as I type, because I'll get into the same situation I've had before, where if I collect it as I type, it will actually highlight the key as whether it's in the word or not. So that's not what you want to be doing. What you want to be doing is you want to collect it when you press enter and when it actually sticks the word into the words guessed. This is where I really want to do it. Yeah, that's the only place when it actually goes into this collection. So that's where I want to do it. So within this particular one, what I want to now do is I'm going to use a variable. In fact, I'm going to go back to the other screen because that's our start point now. And on the button, I'm going to set the variable in here. So this is where I set up all my variables. So we've obviously lost our word, but that doesn't matter. Actually, no, I can switch between the screens, so it's not a problem. So we'll call this one letters used. That's going to be an empty string to begin with because we don't want those. In fact, no, I am going to start again because I want that variable to be set. Sewer. Ooh, lovely. Lovely dirty word. All right, and now what I want to be doing is when I do this, so what this condition is saying is that the word is valid. It's not too short, and it is in, so table 1 is our list of words that are valid. So this is us saying that it is a valid word. And here I want to set that variable that we just did. I want to set it to itself. And I think it's this, and var current word. So what I'm going to end up with here is, let's say I use hurry as the first word. So that's going to be the first. So that's then going to be in var letters used. I'm then going to have my next word, and then my next one after that, and then next one after that, and so on and so forth. So it's just going to be a long string. But because I want to keep this as simple as possible because it's going to be checking this. Oh, the joys of AI get in the way again. No, I don't want that. Go away. Notify hurry sound latte man. Oh, that's hilarious. No, I definitely don't want that to happen. Oh, joys. So this, I would say, is definitely an implementation of AI that is not working. I actually quite like the Copilot edition in Visual Studio Code. It actually does help me, in the world of vibe coding. But yeah, not here. That's a terrible use of it. Anyway, right. So I want this long string of text because really all I want to do for the keys is to say, is the letter in this collection? If it is, or in the string. If it is, that means I've used it. And that's it. That's the first step of our condition. So let's put it on the U. Actually, no, let's put on the S because the S is up. No, let's put on the U. I'm going back to the U. All right, so we want that on the fill. So this is our current horrible gray. So we want to, if self, because we're doing the current button, and we need to lower because it's uppercase. Remember, this has caught me out in the past. We don't want to be caught out by that again because why repeat ourselves? Don't repeat ourselves. Can I just do in? I think I can, And in letters used. Then we want it to be a different RGB color. Let's put it at just a darker gray. So we want it to be, let's say, 100. $100. Right, okay, so that's on a U. So I now need to use a U in my guess. Let's go with my word. Hurry! Et voila! Now we just have to copy that to every single one of the buttons. Joy. Okay, so now that we've got that in there, let's just get rid of the other thing, which obviously I was using at some other point. I didn't even look at the one above, but there you go. That was my original thinking. So that was when I was thinking I was going to use a collection. I rethought that because I realized I didn't need a collection. It didn't have to be anything that fancy, and a collection adds extra overhead. And again, that's getting into more of the developer thing. When you are developing software, you have to think about what it is that you're using to store your variables, how you're gathering your data. Because everything that you decide has an impact on the software. Now, again, in the world of business applications that we're working with here, quite often that inefficiency doesn't matter, but it can. So you have to think about it. If, For instance, if you're working with an accounting package and you store your numbers in a decimal form rather than, no, that's a bad example, in an integer form rather than decimal, something as stupid as that, you're going to have problems because an integer obviously doesn't count for 1.5. It doesn't work. So that's one example. Another very famous example, the Millennium bug. For a long time, software pre the millennium stored the date with the year in 2-digit form. So when it moved from 99 to 2000, there was a massive freak out about the fact that it might break all software because suddenly we're going from 99 to 0, and they didn't know what the impact would be on the software. That's where the Millennium bug came from. If you're old enough to have gone through that, or I don't know, read about it, you probably maybe, if anything, you've seen it in a movie or an animated cartoon of some description. God, an animated cartoon. How old am I? Jesus. Right. Okay. Anyway, so I was thinking collections. I'm going to take the collection out because we're not doing it that way. We're doing a nice simple string. All right. So dark gray means it is already typed. So let's go and stick that in a few other fills. Now I'm going to do my other little trick, which you've seen me do before. I can select a few, select my property, paste it in, and there you go. Now it applies to all of those. Handy little trick when you are doing the citizen dev, stick a bunch of components on the screen. To be honest, even if you're not, and even if you have only 3 components, it's still nice to be able to do that. All right, so that's good. So we got the gray covered. We do not have the mustard covered, and we do not have the green covered, because obviously R should be highlighted in a mustardy tone. All right, so how are we going to do that? Let's go to the R. Okay, so we got that part covered. Great. Next part that we've got to do is the mustard, really. The only condition is that letter in the word? It's not the only condition, though, is it? I'm testing the audience. Because if it was just, is the letter in the word, then it's always going to be mustard. Because think about it, we are working with a functionless or function-based programming language here. What I mean by that is it doesn't work in a linear... God, I'm just using lots of technical jargon. Yeah, it's just simply not going to work. Take my word for it. So let's say what we need to do is it's a compound thing. So we actually need to check, is it in there? Because if it is in there, that's good. So we need another condition in here. Because the first part says, is it in there? No, it's not. Therefore, the next thing we need to check is it in the word? So let's do that. If, and again, we'll use that same thing. If lower in, this time it's for our word to guess. So if it's in there, then we want a different RGB again, and we want to close that bracket because it's a statement within a statement. Now I should obviously tidy this up, and maybe in a moment I will. And we're going to stick that in there. All right, now we need to get the right color. So the right color should be this. I'm just going to go straight to the one because I know it's there, and I'm going to... I can't pick it up. Can I pick it up from this? No, I can't. Mustard. Which one's mustard? Probably this one. In word to guess. Yes, that's the one I want. So that's the color. Go to my R in there, then it's in here. Et voila! I now have mustard. Wonderful. Okay, good. So again, this kind of if statement, anyone that's done Excel formulas will recognize this instantly. Because this is exactly the same thing you would be doing in an Excel formula. But let's break it down just to make it neater and tidier. So we're doing if, and then we're doing another if. So we're nesting our ifs. Then we're getting our true from that if, our false from that if. We're closing out the if. And that's how you want to nest out your statements. So we're taking the first open, the first statement, and we put a tab space on the next line. So this is the condition. Next one after is the true statement. That is actually the whole of that. And then that's false. So again, like I've done in the past, I've done it like this, so it's more explicit, putting in some comments so that you can see it more readily. And I'll do it here as well. Okay. All right. So now we need to get green. Now green should be, where should green be? Green should also be in this part here. So we probably want the green first. So if it is in, oh, that's a bit more tricky, isn't it? Okay, so we can't just rely on in the word. That's not going to work because we need to have it in the word at a specific point. And that information also relates to the words that I've guessed. So there's a bit more work involved here. What we have to do is, again, go back to the enter. So at the moment, I'm capturing the letters used, but what I want to be doing now is actually, every time I'm adding that word into my collection, I also want to check if the word has key letters that match and put those into another string. So let's go and put another string variable at the front. So this is the first. We're at play again. We're going to get to the set letters used. We're going to do another one. And letters used in, no, letters correct. Let's call it that. I think developers are famously bad at naming things. As long as it makes some kind of sense and it's spelt correctly, I don't really mind. As long as it is easy to understand the difference, that's the main thing. If I had var letters used and var letters, that might be more annoying. I'd rather have a wordy variable that describes what it is than not. Because nowadays, most of the time, it's automatically populated for us. We don't even have to remember it. So with IntelliSense the way it is, you really don't have to worry about the names of things these days. All right, so let's do another guess so that we can get a word in there. Let's put in spicy. There's a good fun one. All right, good. So now we should have an S that's green. So let's focus on the S. Let's go and copy that fill that we've already got so that we can keep using the same thing and evolve it. Not the on select. Again, you gotta be very careful with these things. All right, so S. Yeah, that is the right color. Good. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to add in I don't really like doing nested within nested within nested if statements, but to be honest, it would work quite. Actually, no. Let's go with the old fashioned. Well, I say the old. Let's go with the nice nested if form that we've seen. Can we do that? Yeah, we can. Let's modify this so it matches what we've done before. So we did. So as if it's in there, then it's. Do we want to do that? No. You know what? I'm going to keep with nested because it does make sense for my feeble brain right now. All right, so we're guessing the word. If it's in there, then it's true. Otherwise, we're going to there. So we don't want to be doing that. We actually want to be doing in here. Let's put in var letters correct. Okay, so what we're doing is we're saying, has it been a letter that's been used? Yes. And is it a... Oh, maybe I should do an and. Maybe that's the way to do it. That would get rid of the nesting. Anyway, another thing that I suffer from, and I'm sure many other developers do, I can quite often end up in a bit of a recursive loop in my own brain of what ifs. What if I could do it this way? Ah, no. What if I could do it this way? Ah, no. What if I could do it this way? Ah, no. Stop doing that. Go back to the first and do it. Just implement it. Implement the functionality first. Then, once you've implemented it, then you can look at, does it make sense? Could I do it better? Unless you are a brilliant person with logic and you can write it out first time, great. I'd be happier with someone having something that works and can prove that it works before it being an elegant thing, because it's just working software is important. All right, so if it is in here, then that is correct. That means that it's going to be this color. So let's go get that color. Fill. And the fill is this one, isn't it? Yes, it's that one. Oh, there you go. You see the green at the bottom. That's useful. There are some nice things about this interface. I can definitely see why people like it. All right, so that's what's true. If it is not, then we can take that out. Then we can go back to another if. So if that's true, false, if, and this time in here, we want it to be that. So we indent, and then we just need to wrap that up in this, and indent, and there we go. Yes, that's... We might end up with that same problem that we've had before, where the empty string inside of a string comes back as positive. We'll see that in a moment. Let's just focus on finishing this out as is in the happy path. By happy path, what we mean is the part that works the way we expect, i.e., not edge cases, not strangeness, not anything else that we haven't developed for. We're working to a specific ideal, the happy path. All right, so in that, this is that world. So now I need to populate this letters correct variable. So again, if we go back to our enter, so we're doing this at the moment, so we still want to be doing that. Now what we want to do, now this is where it's going to get a little bit programmy, because I can't think of a better way to do this. So I'm going to do it this way. If I can remember what the heck I actually did. For all, I think, in fact, let's do a test. Let's go over here and let's go and what do we want to do? Let's stick in a text input, and then on change for all. Let's see if I can do it this way. Self.text notify Let's just be silly. Let's just get something happening. See if it actually even works. Yeah, no, I didn't think that was going to work. All right, so for all requires a collection of some description, so it doesn't work on the length of the text. Now, I could go to ChatGPT, but I'm going to try and use my brain for a few minutes just to see if I can do this one first. Okay, so there is a thing that you can do called sequence. And sequence is a bit of a magical function. If I was to do in here sequence 5, then that is going to give me a loop of 5 loops. In fact, let's prove that. Notify. Hello. So in a crazy mad world, type this, change it, and there's hello. Although it actually hasn't proven that as 5 times, but essentially that's what it. Oh, there you go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. I'm sure. Anyway, sequence. So sequence gives me a loop. Now what I can do here is I can do a length of a string. So let's go with, okay, it's not a real word, but I don't care. So length of that word, letter, or that word even. And this time, I wonder, can I actually do this? I think I can do value. So if we do it that way, 5. Ah, yeah, okay, so yeah, no, that's interesting. I don't know why it just ends up with 5, but anyway, it is doing the sequence. So what that has said is there's 5 characters. I'm getting a length of the 5 characters, so I'm getting a number of 5. And that gives me a sequence of 5, and then it's notifying 5 times the value. The value is actually, at this point, it's just going to be, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, let's just try something else. Let's do set test. This is the craziness of this language that we use, which is fun. And then I'm going to stick in a text label underneath so I can prove this. And in the text, I put in test. It doesn't have anything at the moment. Yep, that makes sense. I wonder if that's even going to work at this point. Let's try. Didn't appear to work, but let's just check if it actually has a value. There's an error, try revising now. Oh wait, look at what it's doing. It's telling me that's a table. Of course, because I'm doing a for all. That's interesting. Anyway, I'm moving far past what I'm actually supposed to be doing here. What I actually want to try and do is... Actually, yeah. Let's do the same thing as we did kind of before, but this time with value. Let's take this out. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Of course I can't. All right, I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I give up because I just don't want to have to think through it right now. Okay. Yeah, I don't need to say it. You can see what I'm typing. I can't help but say it. Power apps and building a canvas app. I need to check. What do I need to do? This is the interesting thing when you're working with ChatGPT or any LLM. You have to think through what you're actually thinking through. Like if I can't describe it, I can't tell it what I want. So I could be, okay, you know what? I'm building a Wordle game and I need to check after the guess is submitted whether it's automatically trying to guess the next word. Anyway, whether characters are correctly guessed in their location or not. And the characters that are need to be in a string for me to check. Let's just see what it comes up with that. I know that's very waffly, but let's just see what it says. I've noticed this. It's now doing more of the thinking stuff. I don't have the fancy ChatGPT. It just so happens, though, it's using some. Nice. Yes, that is correct. That is what I'm trying to do. All right, so uppercase, forget that. We don't need to worry about that. We've already got that. Inside my subboot, I'm gonna that upper trim. Yep, that's fine. Evaluate the guess. So clear collection for all sequence. So it is. See what I was doing. What I was doing. Oh, this is going crazy. Position. So we're actually capturing the position. This is the letter of the guess, and this is the letter of the target. Okay, I see what it's doing. It's then doing. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's trying to be clever. It's doing the mustard as well as the green. That's kind of cool. What's this doing? Var correct. Call evaluation if is. Oh, that's interesting. But that's my trick. Concat is what I really want. I don't actually need all the other stuff going on there, I don't think. Because... Nah, nice. I should have just got ChatGPT to do the whole thing for me. Obviously not. Where would be the fun in that? Right, forget the test. We don't need the test. Actually, no, I do want to still do the test. So I'm doing the sequence of string test, but we can't do the set. So we need to... so we are going to do the mid. So that's the thing. Text start number, right? So what that's doing, that's for the checking the letter is in the right place. So let's just say that sewer is the word. So we're going to do mid value. Wait, what am I doing? Text, of course. Sewer. So that's the word. This is going to be value. That's going to be 1. Because what we're doing there is we're checking the word to guess value, current sequence number, and 1 character. And then that is equal to... Yes, no, this is fine. This is fine. I'm on the right track. String, and again, we'll take these out. This is just me testing things right now. 1. So that's technically that will give me a table of trues and falses. Doesn't help me for what I actually need. What I really want is if that is true, then the result of that should be that. Otherwise, empty string. All right. Hopefully that gives me a nice table. Yes, and there you go. See, table of 5 entries, S being the only one actually in there. I wonder if I just take that out, if I'm going to end up with a better table. No, still going to have those. Because it's doing the for loop, so I have to actually get rid of those. But that might actually happen if I just do the concat. Why is concat not working for me? I need to concat. Oh, based on a statement. Oh, really? Well, that's not what I want. What I want to do is just join them together. So let's just check something first. I'm just going to take that all out first of all. So this is just a way to get the IntelliSense up so I can see the what it says. Because if I put it in front of the actual words, because there's lots of errors, it's not happy. All right. All right, so I want to concat a table based on an expression. given by the second parameters to be evaluated. Ah, okay. All right. Okay. Now that works. That works. I can do concat where value is not that. And that should give us text. True. Oh, God, why is it doing? What am I doing? Oh, on change. Right. Do we need to on change? This is not the best test I've ever done. It's not the best work I've ever done, if I'm truly honest. Still true, true, true. Why is it all true? What am I doing here? All right, I'm concatenating. It is a bit insane. So that's my table. And I want to do that if the value is not equal to... What if I just put true here? Then true, true. See, this is where I have to say, as a full-blown developer, I do find Visual Studio works quite nicely for my kind of thing. At this point, I would be debugging by going in and stepping line by line through the code to see what's actually happening, because I'm so visual that I really struggle to look at this and read it and understand what I'm even trying to do here. Like, it is very tricky for my little brain to wrap my head around. So I'm going to tidy this up a little bit so I can try to see what's happening here. Okay, so I'm doing a for each, or for all, in a sequence of that. This is my word. So it should go through this 5 times with value being replaced by the letter, because that's... Actually, no, sorry, value being the number of the current iteration of the loop. And now I'm checking if the mid, which is essentially the substring, yep, extracted string. So if that, within that word, if the value, so the first one character, so if S is equal to S, which it is, then I store S because I'm returning S into the for all. Yeah, that's correct. And then I'm just going to put in the empty string that I had before, just in case that happens to be the thing that's causing me an issue here. And then this should just be an expression, a condition to say whether or not to include it. Yeah, expression, a text producing expression to evaluate. Oh, right, no, that's not what I want. Oh. Yeah, there it is. There's my S. Ah, that is interesting. I did not connect those. So what I was thinking was the second part to the function, the concat function, which is concatenate. I thought that was a conditional expression, as in I thought that when it did the loop, it would actually, when it went through that collection, it would only include the things that were true, hence why I did the if statement. But actually what it's doing is just saying, what do you want me to include in the concatenated string? So actually, if I put in F2 for some reason, I should see that 5 times. Yeah. So we're still going to end up with some empty strings. I'm not so worried about that. I'm just going to go and play with that and just see what we get. I'm going to keep the other one in there. I'm going to go to my, not my S, my enter. And that I need to put in here. So I'm just going to paste it in to begin with, tidy it up a little so I can follow along, make sure that I've got my semicolon. So that is my statement there. So that gives me a string, but obviously I want to capture that. So I want to capture letters correct as the concatenated string. I realize that this is a lot of coding. All right, so in theory, I am now going to have, yeah, it's blank at the moment, but as I press enter, it should be capturing the wrong thing entirely because we're not using the right thing here. So what we need is sequence of our current word. And then that will need to be this one here. And that one there. And this needs to be var word to guess. All right, that should work now. All right, well, the only way to work it out is to just try it. So spicy, is that where I got to? Word too short because I haven't actually done a word yet. So sewer, okay, so I want to try a word. Let's go with whisk because my brain thinks that whisk is a word to use. Okay, cool. We now have a word. Now, if that worked properly, my variable should have nothing in it. Good. Of course, it might be a whole bunch of empty strings, but that's not the end of the word, the end of the world. Did that work as I needed? Yes, okay, good, right. Excellent. Let's do another word, but this time with S at the beginning. So S-P-O-O-N. We got an S. Now that string should include S. Please let it include S. There's no S. Oh. Why is there no S? The current word is the word that we typed at the time, and I can't step through it, so I don't have it. Word to guess, value. I wonder if it's getting confused because I'm doing this within other things. That's just odd. In my feeble little brain, that is just very odd. This, no. I wonder if it is something I should do in the actual letter. No, that wouldn't help either. Because somehow I still have to be validating the letters that I'm typing against the word that we're trying to guess. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do here. So what have I done wrong? Got a lot of values. I feel like that's not going to be good. All right, let's just try playing one more word. Fewer. So there's a lot more greens there. So this should have more. So just in case it's just a count thing. Nope, still nothing. Why? See, I mean, this is 0, but that's expected. Like, oh, it's blank because that's expected at this point. But when it actually hits here, it shouldn't be. It should actually be a word. It should have a value. All of this should have values. Can I use as in here? I might just have to use a collection if I can within the 4. I don't know if I can. All right. I might just do that instead. I don't really want to be doing that, but I think I'm going to. All right, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to simplify this a little bit by just getting rid of all of that. Not getting rid of it, sorry. So this is another comment. You'll see this a lot with people that code like this. Block comments. So just code out a bunch, or just hide a bunch of code. I want to keep it there because I want to use it, but I don't want to use it in this form. What I want to do instead is I am still going to do a for all. I think this is still valid. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, just to prove this works, I'm just going to do clear collect call letters typed. And that will be, in fact, no. Just because I want to just satisfy myself that this is working as I expect. Now, why is that not happy? Function cannot be, but it said in a moment it could. Well, now that is interesting. So I can collect, but I can't clear collect. Okay, fine, fine, fine. If that's what you need me to do, that's what I'll do. Ugh, that means I gotta go back. Right. God, I'm having a bad one today. Sorry about this. All right, so I'm gonna clear it up top. So call letters typed. Let's just get rid of it. So that's, clean it up. Tepid, oof, good word. I like that word. Okay, so now we've got call letters typed. We're gonna just stick in value. It's not gonna be the actual, let's just do the actual value because, no, actually I want to prove that that definitely is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go put in sewer. Now we should have, yeah, there you can see where it's, that's not ideal because that's kind of saying that there's another E. Yeah, it's definitely not perfect. That's another thing that's going to be a bit of a problem. All right, letters typed. Do we have, what do we have in here? There you go. Okay, right. Again, break it down. The reason why I find this useful is that, especially when you're having a bad day like I am right now, if you can break it down to basics and just prove it, it gives you a little bit of a start. So now I know I've got a table of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know that this is working exactly as I'm expecting it to. Good. I know that this collection is happening 5 times. And I know I'm collecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a table. So this is working exactly as it should. Good. So I know that I'm not crazy. That really helps. So now at this point, what I want to be doing is I want to be doing this if, because I want to do the validation. What I really want to do here is if the mid, so my substring of the var word to guess value, so that's going to be our 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth, is equal to the current word 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Then we're going to collect it. Otherwise, we're just going to do nothing. All right. Noise outside my window. We'll ignore that. Try to ignore that. Okay, so now I'm just going to play that, and I'm going to go with another 5-letter word, any old one. There we go. We have a P. Now, I shouldn't have any more letters in that collection because it wasn't one that actually... Oh, right, sorry. Goodness sake. Table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, yes, yes. again, lovely wins. All right, so now we're going to put in a word, twist. Enter that. So T should be in there. Absolutely, definitely, T should be in my collection. Please let T be in my collection. Moment of truth. Fudge sticks. But do you know why? Do I know why? Do I know why? Is it because it's a cap? Do I have a caps? Is that what is going on here? All right, time for another label. Let's stick a label in. This label is going to be var current word. There it is. See? It's caps. These things, they catch us all the time. But again, because I've done it step by step, I know that what I did should have worked. So therefore, there's something in what the most recent stuff I've added that didn't work. That's why this method works. A lot of work in that. Just to be on the safe side, because my brain is broken, I'm going to lower both sides. So I know for certain that these are always going to be lowercase. And I'm going to stick that word in again. Twist. And now my collection needs to have a T. Oh, it has a 1. Well, there you go. That works. But obviously, yes. I bet you knew that was coming. I bet it. Now it's going to have a T. For the love of goodness sake, as my son likes to say at the moment. Please let there be a T. You know, sometimes an entire day is made up of this. Sometimes. Excellent. Oh, of course, we're going to lowercase that because we should really lowercase it everywhere. We really should just, as a matter of course, just lower. Lower, 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 lower. The thing is, it doesn't have to be lowercase. It just has to be an upper or a lower, but you have to standardize. That's the important thing. So, lower. Wonderful. Now I know all of that works. I'm going to go back to the beginning. Oh, no. We have the key stuff needs to change. Because in here, we are doing letters correct. So no, we don't want that. We want this to be in... Is it going to be as simple as stick it in letters typed? That's my... Yep, that is it. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens because my brain doesn't want to think about it. It just wants to do it. Play. So we've cleared everything out. We're going to stick in a word. Now we have to actually get it correct, at least. All right. Core. Let's go with cores because obviously it's just close, but not quite. So now our table should have C, O, R, and E in it. Please let it have C, O, R, E. Yes! But our green's not working. Oh, because S is the only one we've got that on. Yes, S is the only one we've got that on. This is going to be an S. That's going to be a lower S. And then color. And then this is going to then be false. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, there you go. False. All right, so let's do what we do. Copy the statement and put it on one where we're expecting it to be something. Let's put it on the C. So C should absolutely glow in green now. Look at that, it's glowing in green. R should now glow in green rather than mustard. Oh, this is beautiful. This is wonderful. This is what I like to see. I'm just going to bask in the glory for a moment. It's all right, not frozen. Just pausing. Bit of gratitude. It's just nice to have. Just gotta... Yeah. All right, so now that that's working, let's do something else here. Let's go and get all the letters in the wrong place, but lots of them correct. So now we should have... Oh, of course, because I haven't stuck that. Yeah, that's fine. That's working as expected. That is working as expected. We now need O. Please work. Oh, no, that's right. That is right. Yes, because O. My test is not good, but all right, fair enough. All right, now that I know that, I'm just going to do the lot. I'm just going to... Oh, I can't do all of them. Why can't I... Oh, I can drag. Okay, I just have to get it right on the edge. Drag across to all. Take these ones out because I don't want them to have the fill. Stick in a fill. And it's done! Sort of. That part's done. Okay, let's just get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. What have we got left to do here? I can't actually remember what the word was. Was it chord? I think it was chord. Let's play a few more words. So let's go with like, duh. E and D. Yes, there you go, the D. So I've got D, and all of those are working. Excellent. All right, well, let's go and win it. Because we need to see the win condition. There you go, that needs to be changed. Because that's horrible and disgusting and foul and hideous. So let's make it much nicer because that label... Ooh, these names are terrible. They really are horrible. Yeah, there you go. That's the failure condition. And in that world, I just remember it from last time. That's all. What that was live. Oh, that's interesting. Screen readers. All right, so this is doing a certain size. I just dragged it out to there. I want to do the same thing with my other. What I am going to do is I'm going to start tidying up some of these things. I'm going to call it label. So convention in the world of Power Apps, Canvas Power Apps, is to have the type of the control, the attribute, as part of the name. So LBL is the shortened form for label. There's a few different people that have documented different kind of standards for this. Keith Watling has a nice little standard that he's put together, which is kind of loosely based on the Python practices. So have a look up for that if you want. I think if you just search for Keith Watling Canvas app standards, you'll probably find it. But yeah, that's so label end screen text. Let's just call it that. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't make sense because it's the failure condition. So that would be label lost screen text. And then this one is going to be label one screen text because I won it, because I'm awesome. And for that, we want this text to take up the whole screen. And for this one, we have a visible on or off at a certain point, which is fine, but we still want that. For the bad one, the fill, I want to look at the fill because I've got a specific fill in here. Yep, there we go. So it's just a slightly transparent red. So on the win, I want something similar, but just slightly transparent green, I think would be fair. So not red. So RGB green is this one. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, it's relatively nice. It's pretty hideous, but it'll do just fine. I just wanted to look better than the horribleness that it was. This play again button's in entirely the wrong place. Let's... Oh, of course. We've got layers. Wait, what have I just done? What have I moved? I have a bad feeling I may have moved something. This is the joys of working with Canvas. If you're not careful, you can move other things that you didn't expect to move. Because I really want... What the hell is this? Oh, it's my test label. Yeah, we definitely don't want that. All right, there's my button. Let's rename this one. BTN for button. Play again. And we want that button to be, I'm just going to stick it much further down because I want to move things around a bit. All right, so we've now got that. It's green, it's horrible. I don't want it to be green. I don't want the text to be quite so hidden, so let's make that a bit more visible. Let's make it white, and let's make it bigger. 48, how big is that? Ooh, that's so big, but beautiful. Stick it in the middle. That's a bit more usable. Let's just make it bold, see if that... Actually, I like it bold. It's really in your face. Well done, you did it. Very robotic. Oh, I'm okay with that. So let's do this one the same. Oh, 64. Oh, it was bigger on the losing screen. All right, let's go with 64, see what that looks like. Oh my goodness, that's massive. Yeah, we'll go with that. We went normal. I want bold, so on the lost screen, I'm going to go with bold. Okay. So they are now akin. Very similar. Good. And they're both, yes, they're both centered. All right, good. Finishing looks the same. I can play again. Go to play. Okay, fantastic. Right, now what I want to do is I want to change some of the proportions here because obviously there's some gaps in the keyboard that, well, no one wants. Really, I should change the colors of these, but to be honest, I like the fact they're different because they're special keys. I'm going to keep them as is because I don't want to play with it too much. And actually that button, I want to keep an eye on where that is because... Actually, no, it's fine because the keyboard's going to be hidden away from it anyway. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go and rename all of these buttons because really that's what I should be doing. But that I definitely cannot be bothered doing. That's far too much effort. So I'm just going to drag the lot around. I'm going to move it down because I want to have it much closer to the bottom of the screen. And I'm just going to eyeball a bit more of it. But this time, what I want to do is just... I wonder if I should make the letters a different size because they are quite small on the phone when I play it on the phone. The problem is there really is quite a lot of them. Let's just see what it looks like if we select a few. Right, so we got some. Now you can just drag it and then you can do that. Ooh, look at them all dance. Dancing. Let's just eyeball something a little bit bigger. I want to get the horizontal gaps about right so that they don't actually overlap, but there's enough space I can just move them around a bit. There. Okay. Yes, that's a funny one. There is not a distribute equally. There is a reorder. There's an align, which allows me to align along a row, but yep, nothing to distribute. That's a question in the chat in case anyone is wondering. Yeah, no, it's a stupid thing. You would have thought there'd be something like that, but nope, there is not that I'm aware of. Unless it's in here. Nope, definitely not in there. No, they do the same thing. Yeah, they do this thing. This is the same thing as they've got in PowerPoint. It tries to help you by saying, oh, look, it's so close to other things. Maybe you wanted it the same gap as that one when it's aligning it to a button that I didn't want it to align. Like, why would I want it centered to that A? Don't you know anything? Stupid thing. Okay, I'm just being mean to the poor computer now. What I want to try and do is I want to just get these out the way so that I've got a clean run at these and I get a nice gap that does make some sense to what I'm trying to do. Ah, it's doing the freaking... Oh, I wonder if I hold down Control. Let's see, if you hold down Control, then it lets me do my own thing a little bit more. All right, so now... Does that... See, they're not... That gap... Oh, this is horrible. I don't know how people do this like this. if I was doing this in a programmatic fancy way, then what I'd actually be doing is saying something along the lines of, what have we got here? So, oh God, there's padding as well. Okay, right. So we've got a width somewhere. Oh, sorry, width. So 54 is the width. So the W needs to start position-wise. Wait, have I got a different width? My W and my Q are different widths. How's that happened? Oh, that's horrible. I didn't even realize that. Oh goodness, no, that has to be fixed. Ooh, it's 26 degrees in this room right now. That is hot. Let's go with 55. Okay, at least now they're all uniform in theory. Yep, 55. Okay, all right, so the W, let's say the W is, let's go crazy and just stick it at 55. Yep, we definitely don't want it there because the Q is starting at 7. So 7 plus 55 is 62. That should be exactly aligned to where the other one ends. So if I really wanted to, I could do then 67. And that would give me my 5 pixels. Now, what I can do is I can then do the next one based off that one and so on and so forth. That would be the programmatic way to do it, which, you know, is also in its own way painful because you have to actually tie it. Because really what you want to be doing is saying, oh God, I don't want to be doing that. There's a better way of doing all of this, which is going to be a gallery. But for now, in fact, you know what? I am going to do this. I wonder, can I do it in a different way? Can I? No, I can't. Yeah, there really is no other nice way to do it that I can think of rather than just dragging the thing across. So let's just do that. Let's get it roughly good. And then version 2 will show a proper way of doing this. Oh, it's so irritating. It really is so irritating. Oh, this one's never going to work, is it? It's just not going to let me do what I needed to do. Oh, control. Give me some control. Oh, Alt just gets rid of those entirely, but that doesn't help me because now I don't have the guides on the vertical. Oh my goodness. Just get in the little gap, not the big gap, the little gap. All right, that'll do. Yes, I know it's thinner there than it is there, and it's, yeah, but it's close. So let's just go with close, shall we? I know that A is not going to be that close in, but what I want to do is just get it roughly aligned and then move the whole row over. I wonder if I should just hide the buttons and then the guides won't be there. I don't think that works because I think it still tries to guide it based on even hidden controls. Oh, I bet you love this, Mr. Mofish, when you do your pixel perfect web design and and you see this. Oh, this must really be hurting you. I shouldn't laugh at your pain, I'm sorry. But I do. Right, so height 95. Let's get the special characters the same as the other ones. Why did that happen? Oh, that was interesting. Didn't know that would happen. Now, is this going to actually help me here? Because I want it to align with the P. There you go. That actually did help. And this one I want to align with the Q. Yes. And this I don't want to align with really any of the other crap. Oh, this is gonna, my eyes are gonna be sore after this. I'm just, I mean, that's, yeah. The thing is, when I press the arrow key, moving it doesn't appear to be a set size either. I don't know. It's weird. All right. Okay. So let's try that. So touching more or less. 1 is massive for a start. Touching one, see that gap's different. So it wasn't obviously touching. Oh, we're there. All right, okay, that might work. Oh God, it's matching to the stupid things at the top. It is painful. It is truly painful. Yeah, you got to feel the pain of Canvas app developers. Mind you, web development is not exactly that much better. It's painful in a different way. CSS is not exactly, you know, a true science. There's a bit of artwork in that as well. CSS is its own pain. Oh, come on, just get it next to the damn thing. Oh, you know what that'll do. This row is terrible. It's not even going to fit everything. God, just get in the... it's okay. Oh. Doesn't really work, does it? All right, well, I guess this is going to have to be a different size. Let's say 70. Oh, this M is just not going to play ball, is it? It's just not going to play ball. Look at it. Just get it. All right, that's as good as I'm going to get it. I can't be bothered doing it any more than that, and it's just going to be moved down a bit, so it's nice. And oh, it's going to be quite sore to play on the phone. You need a little gap down here because I'm going to be doing this one-handed, so I want to do that. There's obviously a massive gap here. To be honest, I just can't be bothered fiddling with all of these because it's going to be the same. It's a different pain. This is a grid, so it's actually going to be a much easier one to do. In fact, can we... The funny thing is, align. Like, I suppose if I align center... No, align top. So that's going to align the top of the boxes, but not to anything else, just to each other. Or do nothing. There is, yes. There is horizontal containers and stuff like that. But the point is, I'm doing this first version as someone that doesn't know about those things. And so they're literally just dragging boxes onto a canvas. So this is the pain that we go through to begin with when we do this stuff. That's the theory, at least. I don't know if anyone ever does this. Right, let's just play with some sizes. Oh, you know what? I should do this all at the same time. Do them all 70. Oh, even that in itself is better. Just playing with that. How much do I actually want to play? I don't really want to move it around too much. You know what? I'm just going to stick it right. What? Ah, I'm moving the wrong stuff. I have a bad feeling that is what I just did. Huh. It's not highlighting, it's different. All right, well, that's not a problem then. Let's just select all of these, and what I want to do is I want to move it into the middle. Oh, there we go. That's central. I don't want it in the middle of the whole canvas. I just want it roughly the middle of the top. There. All right, I really... That's all right. That's all right. We're going to make it much better in the next few versions. I hope. All right. So that is that. That is it. I'm doing no more. I was going to do colors and other stuff around it because really the Wordle's black and stuff, but I just don't want to anymore. I'm happy with it. It's a fully functional Wordle thing. So this is an interesting thing that when you get into web development, when you get into UI, UX stuff, you can easily lose hours. It's very easy to lose a hell of a lot of time doing this. So you really have to focus on what makes sense and what you need. Then if you've got time in the project, you can do other stuff, but really focus on what you need. If you can do it well first time, you know, like if you have a good designer who does the screens up front, like I haven't had for years, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Then it's easier because you can just take that nice design and just make it make it fit the software you're doing. But if you are, as a developer, doing this yourself, then you're going to end up with trial and error trying to tweak it to try and get it to a point where it looks decent. And you're going to end up doing a lot of this horrible, painful stuff, like leave giant gaps in the middle of the boxes. But I don't mind. I'm going to leave it because I know that MoFish loves that. So I'm going to publish that. And we now have a fully working app that I'm going to share on this screen like I did before. So let me get that set up. In true not Blue Peter style of here's one I did earlier. I published, yes I did, good. Yep, new version. Oh, hay fever's kicking in. No. No, I might not sneeze. I might sneeze. If I sneeze in the mic, I'm very sorry. Okay, so I want to be sharing the... Sorry, I'm setting up my phone so you can see it in a moment. I will share that in just one moment. Please bear with me while I struggle through life. That one. Okay, I'm sharing, so I should be able to switch it over now to here. And then obviously nothing works because why would it? That would be too easy. Huh. Go on. Show up. Why is it not showing up? It's definitely sharing, but it's not sharing in the stream. Oh, well. It looks like you're not going to get to see the final product in there, so you're just going to have to... you're going to have to watch out for the short, because at some point I'll do that. Oh, the actual final product. That's kind of annoying, though. I really, really wanted that too. All right, let's try something else. I'm going to stop streaming and then start streaming again. See if that... All right, stop sharing. I know this is the most exciting stuff you could ever watch, honest. Right, so I'm in there. Try streaming again. Share that. Yes. Yes. Go on. Go on, work. Nah. That's weird. Oh, for goodness sakes. It is a long day. I've got to enable streaming. There we go. That's enabled. Right. Okay, so play. There it is. I have no idea what this word is. Oh, I should really... Okay, well, we know there's an I and an N. But look at those. Look at those keys. They're working. Yes. I know I've already done the D, but... Ooh. Interesting. Is it interesting? So it won't be O at the beginning because that would be stupid. I wouldn't have thought it was... N must be at the end, I think. Yeah, O is not going to be at the beginning of that, is it? Yeah. All right, so what else could that be? Let's... Yeah, no, that wouldn't be right. Now you're just watching me play Wordle. I probably should end that, but... Oh, geez, my brain is not made for playing Wordle at this time. But I do have 4 letters. N, O, I, and a U. Now, logically, that O unlikely to be in the beginning, as I've already said. So it's probably the N. But let's just throw a few other words out to get rid of a few options. So We want to use that T, so let's go with strep as a word. Strep's a word. That's handy. So S and T are not in there, so that's good to know. Doesn't leave us with a lot of good options though, does it? C. C's a good one. C's usually a good one. Let's validate where that O could be. I think it's going to be in there. So if it's going to be in there, then I need to have... I'm going to have to throw... Oh, no, M. Chomp. Chomp. Yeah, let's just go with chomp. Hey, O's there. Good. I knew that an O would be there. What the hell's that? U-O-I. And there's an N in there. I mean, that is... My brain is blank on that one. What the hell is that? So N, N-U. So what I like to do on Wordle quite often is just put the letters in that I've seen so I can see if it makes sense. And that does not make any sense to a word that I can think of. So U-O-I-N. That is closer to something that might be a word. Is coin a word with a Q at the beginning? No, what happened there? Oh, my virtual machine seems to have died. Oh, went to sleep. Not that that helps anyone. I'm going to guess that's it. Hey! I have no idea what that word is. That reminds me, actually, you did share. So afterwards, because the link you couldn't share in the chat, but you shared with me afterwards the actual Wordle words on a GitHub repo. I've not changed the words in this, so I've left it as is with the words that we found. So we have every 5-letter word, apparently, and that is a 5-letter word. I know it's English, but I don't know what it means. I should look it up. But yeah, there we go. Working Wordle. Fantastic. All right. Let's finish this up, shall we? When the camera finally catches up with me. Go on, catch up with me. Oh, goodness. Come on. It's entirely possible for you to catch up, camera. Maybe I'll close that out. Just having one of those days. There we go. There's my hairy face. Thank you so much for joining me on the last 4 streams, coming to this point, for putting up with it. Thank you, Igor, for the patience for the whole time. That has been more of a struggle than I would have liked. But again, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's doing this live while actually talking to people really throws it. It changes the experience quite a lot. I used to work in a call center, and every now and again you'd have someone come in, like the monitors would have to come in and sit with you to listen, to make sure that you're actually doing things correctly. And every single time they sat down next to you, you would just screw up. Everything you said was just wrong because you just had this person sitting there listening to everything you said, and it just changed your whole experience. This is so much like that, where the experience of actually doing it and talking through it just changes and alters it. I like it. It is a good experience, but it does make it a slower experience, and it also highlights how dumb I can be at times, which I think is a good thing, because I think some people think I don't know, really good at this stuff. I am really good at this stuff. I am honest. But no, no one's perfect. And I think it's fair to show that. All right, so where have we got to on the app? We built a working Wordle app. It's all controls, all labels, all buttons, literally moving things as we all saw for the last 20 minutes or so, just on the screen. No conditionals, no nice programmatic locations, nothing fancy in terms of how we're placing things on the screen. The next version that I want to build, which I don't think I'll be doing next week. I think I might take a break next week because life getting in the way. But also it's a nice little break before the next one. So I'm not 100% certain yet. I might not do this next week, but do look on LinkedIn, subscribe if you haven't already on the YouTube, and you'll get a reminder, hopefully. I think you have to ask for a reminder. Anyway, subscribe. I might not be here next week, but I certainly won't be doing this version of the app next week. If I am going to, then it will be starting a new thing. But just keep in mind, I might not. I certainly won't be doing a full hour and a half next week. I think I probably will do less if I was going to do anything next week. But yes, to summarize, we built the Wordle clone in a simple fashion. It's in the default environment, so from a governance perspective, that's terrible. No one wants to be doing that. You can see that in the stream. You'll see it in the MSFT environment, which is what Microsoft calls it in the dev environments, at least. It's default in everything else. Yes, so the plan is the next version, I'm going to use galleries. So I'm going to place the controls at the top in a better fashion. I actually totally forgot about containers. Containers might make a hell of a lot more sense than a gallery, to be honest. I might use containers. I need to have a think about how I'm going to make use of it. The keyboard's a bit tricky. I was going to use a gallery, but actually getting the keyboard staggered in the way you need it, it doesn't make sense to have a single gallery or even a single container. It wouldn't work, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it would. So for the keyboard, I was still going to probably use galleries, but 3 of them. So 1 for each row. And that way I can have the control of the button for that row at just one place. Because that's the thing. Everything about making this more professional, i.e. more developer-centric, is about not repeating yourself. The whole purpose is to not copy and paste your fill expressions to all of the controls on the screen. And the point is to try and put one control on the screen, give it a bunch of parameters, and have it auto-generate all the stuff you need. That's what you want to be at. Therefore, if I need to change the color, I just change it in one place. I don't change it across all 28 keys or all, I'm counting on the screen, 30 labels for the top. So that's the next version, is to do that. Once I've got both working versions, I'm then going to look at performance testing, because what I really want to do is I want to show and use some tools to actually see what performance my app is working with. So how long does it take to load? What kind of memory use is it using? Anything like that. So there's a built-in monitor tool within the Canvas Maker Studio, but I'm also going to use the browser tools. And it'll just be interesting to see if there is any difference between the two. Even for an app this basic, this is a basic app. Even for this basic an app, does it make a difference replacing 30 labels with a single gallery? I don't know. I honestly don't know. So that will be an interesting one when I get into that stream. And then after that, once I've done all those things, the version 2, the performance testing, then I'm going to be looking at how do I get this into a different environment? Because right now, the default environment is not the place you want to be doing it. I want to start actually taking that and putting into a dev test and a production environment. So if this was actual business application software, I want to be able to make changes before I push it out to my audience. I don't want my users to be impacted by me tweaking and changing colors or moving the labels about. So that's why you have your dev test and prod environments in a proper environment, in a proper setup. At some point along the way, I would also love to throw Dataverse in, because right now all the words are stored in the app directly using the Excel that we imported before. But one of the features that we don't have is stats. So I do not have in the app the ability to capture how many times I've won, how many times I've lost, how many guesses it's taken me. In the actual Wordle app, you have those stats. Actually, I've already closed it down. I won't share with you my Wordle stats. I'm quite happy with the stats, to be honest. I've just recently managed to get a few in the 2 guesses range, which is surprising. Took a while to get to that, if I'm truly honest. Yeah, screw it. I'll put it up on the screen. There you go. You can see it that way. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And again, a reflection of my screen. Lovely. Yeah, so three I've managed to guess in 2. God, I've played this 207 times. I do like Wordle. All right, so that's a whole series of things still to come, and that's going to be weeks. That's going to be lots and lots of this still, because the making it a more developer sort of centric thing, that's going to take time. I'm going to take this existing version, I'm going to change it. So there's going to be a lot of renaming stuff, moving things around. Depends on what you like. You might not like that. You might like it. I don't know. I'm just going to do it. So hopefully you guys will join me, and everyone out there gets to get something out of it that's useful. If there is anything you do want me to tackle or even look into, go into more detail with, please do comment. Very much welcome feedback. Anything at all. Don't tell me you want another game made. I'm not making noughts and crosses, but anything that you think would be interesting to cover or go through or anything like that in the sort of topics I've discussed. And I'll just keep doing this because I'm having fun. And as I've said before, it is helping me to learn myself because, like I said, I don't do Canvas that often. So it is good to keep my skills up on it. And in weeks and weeks and weeks' time, I will move on to model-driven apps. Because that's my bread and butter and I really enjoy those. But that's going to be true fancy devy stuff. Might even do some AI at some point. Playing with AI at the moment in work, so that's fun. Anyway, I'm going to close it out there. Thank you very much to the chatters on the stream. That always makes a difference. I do enjoy the chat while live. It's such a much more interactive and fun experience. So thanks again for everything. And I will see you soon. Goodbye, good night, whatever it is for you. Au revoir.